Zdaj pa, tisto, kar smo vsi čakali. Prihaja iz Amerike profesor, ki je potoval že po vseh celinah. Tudi tam, kjer mi še nismo bili, in je eden od največjih strokovnjakov, kar se tiče hindujske veroizpovedi, je profesor na Oxfordu, poleg tega ima katedro in inštitut za hindujske vede. Velik poklon, kapo dol in en velik aplauz, dr. Kenneth Valpeya.
Well, thank you very much for that warm welcome. We have heard rumors that there has been a film called Avatar. Not true? Yes, true. I confess, I have not seen the film. Oxford professor, you know, kind of out of touch. But when we heard that there's this blockbuster film, I thought, well, maybe it's a good idea to tell people something about the quite rich tradition of Avatara from India.
Ampak, ko smo slišali, da obstaja zelo popularen film na to temo, smo pomislili, zakaj ne bi ljudem povedali nekaj o bogati tradiciji Avatare iz Indije.
And I have to say, I'm begging for your patience that we have to go through translation. My Slovenian is terrible.
Prosim pa vas tudi za potrpežljivost, da moramo potrpeti še s prevodom, kajti moja slovenščina je obuhla.
I first became interested in this topic through study of yoga.
Ta tematika me je začela zanimati, ko sem začel preučevati jogo.
As you probably know, many people in the West have taken up some kind of yoga practice. There are yoga studios all over the world.
Kot veste, veliko ljudi na Zahodu je začelo prakticirati jogo. Po vsem svetu so številni yoga društva.
So, in my study, one thing led to another, and it became clear to me that there's a very rich tradition behind yoga, which has to do much more with the meditation side as opposed to the sort of bodily exercise side.
In pri mojem preučevanju joge te je ena stvar vodila k naslednji in sem ugotovil, da je iza te telesnih vaj še veliko več, neke vrste meditacija.
And behind this tradition there is a very rich tradition of narrative about the nature of the cosmos and how it is maintained through the appearance of what are called avatars.
Ob tem pa je še bogatejša tradicija pripovedi o tistih, ki vzdržujejo ta univerzum, ki se imenujejo avatari.
The word avatar means one who descends.
Beseda avatar pomeni tisti, ki se stopi.
And the idea of descending suggests that there is a realm which is beyond this world.
In ta zamisel o sestopanju pomeni, da obstaja tudi prostor, tudi svet, ki je izven tega sveta.
And it's through the narrative of the avatars and through practices of meditation that one is, it's understood, one makes access to that higher realm.
Razume pa se tudi, da preko pripovedi o teh avatarjih in preko meditacije imamo tudi mi dostop do tega sveta.
And central to these narratives are these narrative stories of especially 10 of actually many more avatars.
Obstajajo te pripovedi o mnogih avatarjih, ampak izmed teh je glavnih 10.
Why 10, you may ask?
Lahko se vprašate, zakaj 10?
The song which you have just heard, so beautifully sung in Sanskrit language, was composed in the 12th century.
Pesem, ki ste jo pravkar slišali, tako lepo prizorjeno o 10 avatarjih, je bila napisana v 12. stoletju.
And it was at this time the poet Jayadeva selected of the many avatars 10 as most prominent.
In v tistem času je pesnik Jayadeva izmed vseh avatarjev izbral teh 10 kot najbolj vidnih, prominentnih.
One other point before we begin to see demonstrations of each of these avatars.
Še nekaj bi povedal, preden začnemo se ogledovati prikaz vsakega od teh 10 avatarjev.
And that is that they're all 10 are understood to be forms or expansions or extensions of one being known as Vishnu, or he's also known as Krishna. And we have a figure of Krishna here on the side.
In to je, da vseh teh 10 avatarjev je znanih kot odraz oziroma kot izvor enega samega. In ta je Višnu ali Krišna tukaj pri strani.
So the sort of running thread through all of these stories is that there is one divine hero, a supreme person.
Torej, rdeča nit skozi vse te zgodbe je, da obstaja en božanski junak, vrhovna oseba,
who takes on different forms for different purposes, and we will hear about these purposes.
ki za različne namene prevzame različne podobe in sedaj bomo slišali o teh namenih.
All right. So we can begin with the first of these avatars. So we're having a 10-part lesson here for you. I hope you can bear with us.
Imamo za vas lekcijo v 10 korakih, upam, da boste dovolj potrpežljivi.
And the first of the avatars is known as Matsya.
Prvi izmed avatarjev je znan kot Matsya.
He's also, in the song, he's called Mina. They mean the same thing. It means fish.
V pesmi je omenjen kot Mina. Mina pomeni isto, to pomeni riba.
Now what I'd like you to do is use your imagination a little bit
Sedaj bi želel, da malo uporabite svojo domišljijo
and suspend your skepticism,
in malo zadržite svoj skepticizem.
the sort of everyday skepticism that carries us through life. Now is a time to put it aside.
Tisto skeptičnost, ki nas pelje skozi življenje, sedaj je čas, da jo damo na stran.
Imagine there is a king of ancient times. One day he goes to the side of the sea to bathe and then to gather water.
Predstavljajte si v starodavnih časih kralja, ki se napoti na breg reke in zajame nekaj vode iz te reke.
As he cups some water in his hands, there's a tiny, tiny fish in his hands. And suddenly this fish speaks to him.
Ko v dlani zajame nekaj vode, kar naenkrat zagleda majhno ribico in ta ribica mu spregovori.
"O king, please do not throw me back into the sea.
O kralj, prosim, ne vrzi me nazaj v morje.
You are king, so you should protect me."
Ti si kralj, ti bi me moral zaščititi.
Well, it's a long story, but the king takes Matsya, as it turns out to be Matsya avatar, who then grows very quickly into a very giant form.
No, to je dolga zgodba, ampak na koncu se izkaže, da ta majhna ribica je pravzaprav Matsya avatar, ki zraste v gromozansko ribo.
And this giant form continues speaking to the king.
In ta gromozanska podoba še naprej pogovarja kralja.
And he says, "Be forewarned, there is going to be a very big flood.
In mu pravi, pazi, kmalu bo velika poplava.
So prepare yourself.
Zato se pripravi.
Build a ship."
Zgradi ladjo.
Have you heard this story before?
Ste to zgodbo že kdaj slišali?
It's known to us from what in Christian tradition is called the Old Testament, in Jewish tradition, the Hebrew Bible.
Znana nam je iz stare zaveze v katoliški tradiciji in iz judovske tradicije hebrejska Biblija.
As the story of Noah and his ark.
Kot zgodba o Noetovi barki.
Bring all the different species onto this boat, bring all the different forms of life, and I will protect you.
Na to ladjo pripelji vse različne vrste življenja in jaz jih bom zaščitil.
I will bring you to safety. Matsya is telling the king.
Tako Matsja govori kralju, peljal vas bom na varno.
We're going to have a little demonstration of this through the Bharatanatyam dance tradition. Our Alexei, who's been studying Bharatanatyam dance for many, many years, is going to demonstrate for us. After showing us, first of all, the general introduction to the Das Avatar.
Sedaj si bomo to zgodbo ogledali skozi ples starodavne Bharatanatyam tradicije. Za plesom nam bo Aleksej, ki že vrsto let preučuje in se uči ta ples, in na začetku nam bo pokazal nekaj elementov te zgodbe, da bomo lahko sledili.
And then we'll explain a little more after about this.
Potem pa bomo povedali še kaj več. This is Matsya. As I said, Matsya saves this king, but he also, it's understood, saves the Veda. To je bila torej Matsja. Kot sem že omenil, Matsja je rešila tega kralja, rešila je pa tudi Vede.
Veda means knowledge, and it's the ancient texts of India. There are 4 texts called Veda.
Veda pomeni znanje. V Indiji so starodavni teksti Indije in obstajajo 4 Vede.
But what I wanted to say in relation to this is each of these avatars has a kind of lesson for us, which I want to extract.
Kar pa sem želel reči, je, da vsak od teh avatarjev ima za nas nek nauk in to želim poudariti.
Matsya is saving this king from this ocean, and it's understood in the Veda that actually we're all in an ocean.
Matsja je kralja rešila pred oceanom in v Vedah je opisano, da smo pravzaprav vsi mi v oceanu.
This is the ocean of worldly existence.
In to je ocean materialnega življenja.
It's understood from the Veda that we're all born into ignorance.
V Vedah je opisano, da se vsi rodimo v nevednosti.
And more or less we make our way through life without clear understanding of our real identity.
In se bolj ali manj prebijamo skozi življenje, ne da bi se zavedali svoje prave narave.
And so the avatars come, they descend into the world in order to awaken us to that awareness of who we are through the practice of different forms of yoga.
In zato pridejo avatarji, se stopijo v ta svet, da bi nas spomnili na to, kar smo, skozi prakso joge, na različne načine.
But on to the next avatar. His name is Kurma.
Pa pojdimo k naslednjemu avatarju. Ime mu je Kurma.
Kurma means tortoise. What's the word?
Kurma pomeni želva.
Žilva. Yes? How's my pronunciation?
Tako,
Sorry.
kakšne bo izgovorjeno.
Imagine, if you will, there are two cosmic political parties.
Predstavljate si, če želite, dve vesoljni politični stranki.
There are the gods and there are the demons.
Bogovi in demoni.
Normally the gods and the demons are at war with each other.
Običajno so bogovi in demoni v vojni.
And there's so many accounts of this.
In veliko primerov so bojevali.
But one time they decided, you know, we all have the same interest.
Nekoč pa so se odločili, pravzaprav imamo isti interes.
We want the nectar, amrita in Sanskrit.
Vsi želimo nektar, v sanskritu amrita.
The word, little Sanskrit lesson for you. The word mrita means death.
Še mala lekcija sanskrita za vas. Beseda mrita pomeni smrt.
Smrt. And amrita means deathless.
Amrita pa pomeni brez smrti, nesmrtnost.
And it also means ambrosia, nectar.
Pomeni pa tudi ambrozija, nektar.
So the gods and the demons said, hey, we all want the same thing, let's cooperate.
Torej bogovi in demoni so rekli, pravzaprav si vsi želimo isto stvar, torej sodelujmo.
Let's churn the cosmic ocean together to bring out this nectar, which when we drink, we can become immortal.
Skupaj pinimo kozmični ocean in iz njega bo prišel nektar. In ko bomo ta nektar spili, bomo postali nesmrtni.
So they got together, they got a big rope in the form of a cosmic snake.
In tako so se zbrali in so dobili veliko vrv v podobi kozmične kače.
And they found a mountain to act as a pole for tying the snake rope to churn.
Našli so tudi goro, okoli katere so zavezali to kačo, da bi pinili ocean mleka.
But there was a problem.
Obstala pa težava.
As they began churning, the mountain began sinking into the ocean.
Ko so začeli piniti ocean, se je gora začela potapljati v ocean.
That's where kurma comes into the story.
In tukaj se v zgodbi pojavi kurma.
Kurmas have a nice solid back.
Kurme imajo zelo tak čvrst hrbet.
And so he volunteered to become the support of this churning process.
In tako se je kurma privolila, da postane podpora gori v tem procesu pinjenja.
Let's see a little illustration of that, shall we?
Pa si pogledamo še ilustracijo tega.
Who, as you can see, kind of moves around also in this cosmic ocean.
To je bila torej kurma rupa, ki se takole premika po kozmičnem oceanu.
What's the lesson from this story? Well, one that suggests itself to me.
Kaj se lahko naučimo iz te zgodbe? Ena stvar je očitna.
If we want to get anything done in this world, we need to cooperate.
Če želimo karkoli doseči v tem svetu, moramo sodelovati.
But cooperation, even we may make so many political arrangements with our political parties and whatnot.
Ampak, če tudi naredimo veliko ureditev v političnih strankah,
it's not enough.
to ni dovolj.
We need help.
Potrebujemo pomoč.
We need divine help.
Potrebujemo božansko pomoč.
So this Kurma avatar takes a humble position, the supreme taking a low position as a lowly kurma in order to help.
In Kurma avatar prevzame zelo skromen položaj, vrhovna oseba kot skromna kurma, ki podpira Boga.
Okay, the next avatar also takes a lowly position in order to help the world.
Tudi naslednji avatar prevzame oziroma sprejme skromen položaj, da bi pomagal svetu.
He's known as Varaha.
Znan je kot Varaha.
Varaha means wild pig.
Varaha pomeni divji prešič. Divji prešič.
Oh, I can't pronounce that. Sorry.
Merjasec. Merjasec.
Madhyasins.
Merjasec.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay, imagine
Predstavljajte si.
one of these demons
Enega od teh demonov
is especially powerful, and he is also always eager for a fight.
Eden od teh demonov je zelo močen in vedno se želi boriti.
His name is Hiranyaksha, which means golden eyes.
Ime mu je Hiranyaksha, to pomeni zlate oči.
He's looking for his match, someone who can fight equally with him.
In išče si primernega nasprotnika, ki se bo lahko bojeval z njim.
And in the process, he unfortunately causes the entire earth to sink down into the bottom of, we've been hearing about this cosmic ocean.
Pri tem pa povzroči, da celotna zemlja pade, kot smo danes poslušali, v kozmični ocean.
The gods are desperate. What do we do now?
Bogovi so obupani. Kaj zdaj?
Just as they're wondering what to do, appears a tiny Varaha,
In ravno ko tuhtajo, kaj bi storili, se pojavi majčken Varaha,
who then expands very quickly,
ki se zelo hitro poveča.
becomes cosmic size. He enters into the ocean
In s kozmično velikostjo vstopi v ta ocean,
because wild pigs are known for going into dark and dirty places, so he goes down into this dark sea and lifts the earth back up into its proper place.
ker ti merjasci radi hodijo po tamačnih in umazanih prostorih, zato se potopi v ta ocean in dvigne zemljo in jo postavi ponovno v njen položaj.
And he has a wonderful battle with Hiranyaksha.
In se čudovito bori s Hiranjakšo.
It's a battle to end all battles.
To je bitka, ki konča vse bitka. Bitka vseh bitk.
Yes, of great entertainment, specifically to Varaha, who also, like Hiranyaksha, likes a good fight.
In ta bitka je bila Varahu veliko zadovoljstvo, kajti tudi on, tako kot Hiranjakša, se zelo rad dobro bori.
Let's see how this looks.
Poglejmo, kako to izgleda.
Kesha
something of an environmental message in this story.
Mislim, da je v tej zgodbi okoljevarstveno sporočilo.
Because Hiranyaksha had done something to the earth in such a way that it fell down into the depths.
Kajti Hiranyaksha je na nek način poškodoval zemljo, da je padla globoko v ocean.
It's understood that as a demon, as an anti-god, he was doing things to the earth which were not favorable for the earth.
Razumljivo je, da kot demon, kot nekdo, ki je brezbožen, je počel zemlji stvari, ki ji ravno niso pasale.
Today we would say exploiting nature.
Danes bi temu rekli izkoriščanje narave.
Nowadays we're all very concerned about the preservation of nature.
Danes smo zelo zaskrbljeni in nas skrbi, kako bomo naravo ohranili.
If we can remember the help that Varaha gives to that similar situation, who knows? Maybe this could help the situation in a very positive way.
In če se spomnimo pomoči, ki jo je Varaha ponudil v tej situaciji, kdo ve, morda nam lahko to pomaga na pozitiven način.
Hiranyaksha had a brother.
Hiranyaksha pa je imel brata.
In the appearance of the next avatar, I have to first explain about his brother.
Preden pa opišem naslednjega avatarja, naj najprej povem nekaj o njegovem bratu.
His name, oddly enough, was Hiranyakashipu.
Zanimivo, njemu je bilo ime Hiranyakashipu,
which translates in Slovenian as Hiranyakashipu.
V slovenščini tudi pomeni Hiranyakashipu.
Sorry. Hiranyakashipu, he had an idea that he's going to become immortal.
Hiranyakashipu si je zamislil, da bi tudi on želel postati nesmrten.
How is he going to do this? He's going to perform extreme austerities.
Kako? Tako, da bo izvajal ekstremno, neverjetno askezo.
He will stand on one leg. I don't know if I can do it.
Stal bo na eni nogi.
He will hold his both arms straight up in the sky, and he will stay this way for not minutes, not hours, not days, but for years.
Obe roki bo dvignil v zrak in bo takole stal ne ure, ne minute, ne dneve, ampak leta in leta.
He's so successful in his practice of this austerity that, again, the gods get worried.
Pri izvajanju te askeze pa je bil tako uspešen, da je znova bogove zaskrbelo.
One of the gods is named Brahma.
Eden izmed teh bogov, ime mu je Brahma.
He comes to this demon and he says, "What do you want? What can I do for you so you'll stop this?"
Pristopi temu demonu in pravi, kaj želiš? Kaj lahko storim zate, da boš prenehal s tem?
You're bringing the whole world out of balance.
Porušil si ravnovesje v celem svetu.
He said very simple, I want immortality.
In odgovoril je, želim biti nesmrten.
Sorry, can't give you that.
Oprosti, tega ti ne morem dati.
I'm not immortal myself.
Tudi sam nisem nesmrten.
All right, then make it such that I will not die either in the day or in the night.
Dobro, potem pa uredi, da ne bom umrl niti po dnevi, niti po noči.
Okay, that I can grant you.
V redu, to ti lahko podarim.
Sorry. Grant me that I will not be killed by any weapon.
Potem mi daj še to, da me ne bo bilo nobeno orožje.
Okay, I can give that.
V redu, tudi to ti lahko dam.
Grant me that I will not be killed by any man, any beast, any other sort of being.
Potem mi daj še to, da me ne bo ubil noben človek, nobena žival, nobeno živo bitje.
Okay, granted. Tatastu, let it be.
V redu, tudi to. Tatastu, naj se zgodi.
Ha, now I am immortal.
No, zdaj sem nesmrten.
So he thought.
Tako je mislil.
And so in his illusion, he went about terrorizing the whole cosmos.
In v svoji iluziji je teroriziral cel univerzum.
To the point where he began harassing his own little son, Prahlad.
Do te točke, ko je začel nadlegovati še svojega lastnega sina, Prahlada.
Prahlad had one fault.
Prehlad pa je mislil samo na eno stvar.
He was a devotee of Vishnu.
On je bil bhakt ali privrženec Višnuja.
Remember, Vishnu is that Lord, the Supreme Being, from whom all of these avatars are appearing.
Se spomnite, Višnu, to je tisti Gospod, tisto vrhovno bitje, iz katerega se pojavijo vsi ti avatarji.
Hiranyakashipu did not like this at all.
Hiranyakashipuju pa to sploh ni bilo všeč.
Eventually, he actually tortures his son.
Nazadnje je začel dejansko mučiti svojega majhnega sina.
To the point that Vishnu appears as not a man, not as an animal,
Do te točke, da se je Višnu pojavil ne kot človek, ne kot žival,
but as a man animal, as a human lion, not a singha.
ampak kot človek žival, človek lev, nara simha.
He did not appear either in the day or the night,
Ni se pojavil ne po dnevi, ne po noči,
but rather during the dusk.
ampak ob mraku.
And he did not kill Hiranyakashipu with any weapon.
Hiranyakashipuja pa tudi ni ubil z nobenim orožjem,
Rather, he used his own nails.
ampak je uporabil lastne kremplje.
Let's see how this looks.
In poglejmo, kako je to videti.
The lesson from Narasingha's stomach operation on Hiranyakashipu
Nauk, ki ga lahko potegnemo iz Narasimhadijeve operacije trebuha Hiranyakashipuja,
is that human culture, human society, human civilization we should not be wasting our time trying to overcome the powers of nature artificially.
je ta, da človeška civilizacija, človeška narava ne bi smela biti taka, da bi poskusili nadvladati naravi.
Hiranyakashipu represents, in a sense, our modern technological culture, which makes a lot of promises.
Hiranyakashipu v nekem smislu predstavlja našo sodobno tehnološko kulturo, ki veliko obljublja.
Even suggesting, one way or another, that we can become immortal by engagement of technology or advancement of technology.
In namiguje celo na to, da lahko z napredkom tehnologije postanemo nesmrtni.
So Narasingha comes to remind us, not possible.
In Narasimha pride, da nas spomni. To pa ne možno.
That's slowly, right? Okay, next comes Vamana. Vamana means dwarf.
Naslednji, ki pride, je Vamana. Vamana pomeni palček.
Palček? So, again, we have a situation of someone who is trying to artificially dominate the world. In this case, his name is Bali.
Spet imamo nekoga, ki želi na umeten način nadvladati svetu, tokrat mu je ime Bali.
In a certain way, Bali is a very cultured king
Na nek način je Bali zelo uglajen, kulturen kraj,
because he practices what in ancient India was called the culture of sacrifice, yajna.
kajti on prakticira to, kar se je v starodavni kulturi, čemu se je reklo žrtvovanje ali jagja.
This is a very elaborate ritual practice. It's understood by this practice. It brings about balance in the world, cosmic balance.
To je zelo obsežen ritual in razume se, da s tem ritualom v vesolju spostavimo ravnotežje.
So it's a good thing to do. The problem was the wrong person was doing it.
Torej, to je nekaj koristnega, ampak težava je bila v tem, da je to izvajala napačna oseba.
Again, the gods are concerned what to do.
In spet je bogove zaskrbelo, kaj se da.
Again, Vishnu appears now as a small Brahman, which means like a teacher.
In znova se je pojavil Višnu kot majhen palček, kot brahmana ali učitelj.
Now, kings are supposed to give in charity to Brahmins.
Kralji morajo brahmanam dajati miloščino.
So little Vamana came before King Bali as he was doing one such sacrificial practice.
In ta majhen brahmana je prišel pred kralja Balija, medtem ko je on izvajal eno od teh žrtvovanj.
Imagine the scene. A sweet-looking little boy, dwarf. He says, "Excuse me, sir, can you give me in charity?"
Zamislite si majhnega srčkanega fantka, brahmano, ki pride pred kralja in pravi, mi lahko date nekaj miloščine?
Yes, of course. I can give whatever you want. Just ask, I will give.
Seveda, lahko ti dam karkoli želiš, samo povej in dobil boš.
What do you want?
Kaj želiš?
I would like some land.
Rad bi nekaj zemlje.
Oh, how much land?
Koliko zemlje?
I would like the amount of land which I can step around with 3 steps.
Rad bi toliko zemlje, da lahko obkrožim s 3 svojimi koraki.
3 steps, that's ridiculous. You're just a little boy and you want 3 steps, that's nothing.
3 koraki, ti si samo majhen fantek. To ni nič 3 tvoji koraki.
Ask for more, please. I want to show my generosity.
Lahko me prosiš za več, prosim, rad bi pokazal svojo radodarnost.
No. I'm a Brahmin. Brahmins don't try to get more than they need. I just need 3 steps.
Ne, jaz sem brahmana. Brahmani ne vzamejo več, kot potrebujejo. Potrebujejo samo 3 korake zemlje.
Bali was warned by his teacher, his guru. He's Vishnu, he wants to cheat you.
Balija pa je njegov učitelj, njegov guru posvaril. On te hoče prevarati, on je Višnu.
Bali says, if it's Vishnu, let him cheat me.
Bali pa je dejal, če je Višnu, pa naj me prevara.
It's good to get cheated by Vishnu.
To je dobro, če te prevara Višnu.
Okay, so take your 3 steps.
V redu, torej vzemi svoje 3 korake.
At which moment Vamana suddenly expanded into a cosmic form.
V istem trenutku pa se je Vamana povečal do kozmičnih razsežnosti.
Vamana became Trivikrama, the cosmic form of Vishnu who takes 3 steps, 3 cosmic steps.
In Vamana je postal Trivikrama, kozmična podoba Višnuja, ki vzame te svoje 3 korake.
With 2 steps, he'd already covered the entire cosmos.
S svojima 2 korakama je pokril celotno vesolje.
He went to Bali and he said, Bali, you have promised me 3 steps. I've taken 2 and I see nowhere to put my 3rd step.
In potem je šel do Balija in rekel, Bali, obljubil si mi 3 korake. Vzel sem si že 2 in ne vem, kam ne položim 3.
Please put your 3rd step on my head.
In je rekel, prosim, 3. korak postavi na mojo glavo.
Let us see.
In si oglejmo še to.
what's the lesson from Vamana's appearance?
Kaj se lahko naučimo iz pojavitve Vamane?
It's a lesson which could apply to actually many of the avatars, and that is the problem of pride.
To je nauk, ki bi ga lahko potegnili iz pojavitve mnogih avatarjev, in to je težava s ponosom.
It's something which sometimes I think all of us are affected by.
Ponos je nekaj, kar pogosto vpliva na nas.
Pride means we think that we're something more than we are.
Ponos ali nadutost pomeni, da smo nekaj več, da mislimo, da smo več, kot dejansko smo.
Or we try to impress others with an impression of ourselves as being something that we are not.
Ali pa poskusimo v drugih vzbuditi vtis, da smo nekaj, kar nismo.
So Bali was humbled. He got the third step onto his head in this way. He showed a gesture of surrender. Okay, I give up.
In Bali je bil prizemljen. S tretjim korakom je Vamana nastopil na njegovo glavo in potem je Bali rekel, v redu, predam se.
The next avatar is, if I remember correctly, Parashurama. Am I right?
Naslednji avatar je, če se dobro spomnim, Parashurama.
Yes. Parashurama is, for most of us in the West, an especially difficult avatar to appreciate.
Parashurama je za mnoge izmed nas na Zahodu avatara, ki ga težko cenimo ali spoštujemo.
I was thinking this morning how to explain Parashurama. The word parashu in Sanskrit means axe.
Danes zjutraj sem razmišljal, kako naj pojasnim tega Parashurama. Parashu v sanskritu pomeni sekira.
It is Rama who carries an axe. We're going to hear about 3 different Ramas.
To je Rama, ki nosi sekiro. V tej predstavitvi bomo slišali o 3 različnih Ramah.
The best I could think of is we have a tradition in America, the idea of the noble savage.
Najbolje, česar sem se domislil, je, da v Ameriki imamo tradicijo uglajenega divjaka.
The idea of a person who is not civilized, is somehow wild, at the same time is noble.
Zamisel oziroma idejo o nekom, ki ni civiliziran, pa je obenem plemenit.
As it turns out, Parashurama is also a Brahmana, which means the most civilized, but not in ordinary terms.
Izkazalo se je, da je ta Parashurama Brahmana, torej najbolj civiliziran, ampak ne v posvetnih merilih.
Parashurama gets quite angry at the next category in traditional Indian culture, the martial class.
Parashurama se zelo razjezi na naslednjo kategorijo ali sloj v starodavni tradiciji in to so bojevniki.
He got so angry, so we are told, that he killed them all. The whole class of warriors.
Rečeno je, da se je tako razjezil na vse te bojevnike, da jih je vse pobil.
Not just once, not just twice, but 21 times.
Ne samo enkrat, ne samo dvakrat, ampak 21krat.
21 generations, we understand. He stayed in the world for 21 generations, one after another, after another.
21 generacij, toliko časa je bil prisoten na svetu in eno za drugo.
And the tradition says this is a demonstration of divine anger.
In tradicija pravi, da je to prikaz božanske jeze.
Let's have a look.
Kaj si poglejmo to.
Samaya si paya si shamita bhavata pam
also a lesson in this story of Parashurama.
Tudi iz te zgodbe Parashurama se lahko nekaj naučimo.
And that is that in this world, the attempt to govern by the class of people who govern,
In sicer, da poskus, da bi v tem svetu nadvladal nek sloj ljudi,
it must be done properly for the interest of all citizens.
da je to potrebno narediti pravilno, v dobro vseh državljanov.
And this message, if you like, ties in with the story of the next Avatara, who is one of the most beloved in not only India, beyond in many parts of the world, namely Rama Chandra.
To sporočilo pa se navezuje na naslednjega avatarja, ki je eden izmed najbolj priljubljenih avatarjev, ne samo v Indiji, ampak v vsem svetu. In to je Rama Chandra.
The story of Rama is quite extensive. We could have a whole evening just telling this one story.
Zgodba o Rami je tako obsežna, da bi lahko ves večer pripovedovali samo to eno zgodbo.
Essentially, Rama is a human king who is utterly and completely righteous. He is a wonderful, wonderful ruler. Everyone loves him.
Bistveno pa je to, da Rama predstavlja človeškega kralja, ki je pravičen in vsi ga imajo radi.
But before being crowned king by his father, something unexpected happens.
Preden pa ga oče okrona za kralja, se zgodi nekaj nepričakovanega.
Some complications I won't try to explain, but as it happens, Rama is banished to the jungle, to the forest, for a period of 14 years.
Teh komplikacij se da ne bi opisoval, ampak ko se to zgodi, Ramo izženejo v džunglo, v gozd za 14 let.
All the citizens are in agony. How can this happen?
Vsi državljani so v agoniji, kako se je to lahko zgodilo?
Rama's father, who has been forced to order him to go to the forest, he is in such agony that soon afterward he dies.
Tudi Ramov oče, ki so ga prisilili, da je svojega sina izgnal v gozd, je v takšni agoniji, da kmalu zatem umre.
Rama says, I have been ordered by my father to go to the forest. I will do it happily.
Rama pa pravi, če mi je oče ukazal, da odidem v gozd, bom to z veseljem storil.
His beautiful wife, Sita, says, I'm going with you. Rama says, no, you're not. It's dangerous.
Njegova prelepa žena Sita pravi, tudi jaz sem s teboj. Rama pravi, ne greš, prenevarno je zate.
Sita says, I am going with you. I am your wife. Wherever you are, I will be.
Sita odvrne, grem s teboj, saj sem tvoja žena. Kamorkoli greš ti, grem tudi jaz.
They go to the forest and so many adventures take place, but misadventure also happens.
Potem odideta v gozd in veliko dogodivščin se pripeti, ampak tudi kaj slabega.
By an intrigue, the evil demon Ravana, who has not one, not two, not five, but 10 heads, he arranges for the abduction of Sita from Rama.
Zlobni demon Ravana, ki nima ene ali dveh, ampak 10 glav, uredi s prevaro, da so Sito ugrabili.
Now, the gods had been troubled by Ravana and his friends for a long time. And so, Rama had appeared to kill him.
Ravana in njegovi prijatelji so že dolgo časa nadlegovali bogove, zato se je Rama pojavil, da ga ubije.
And Rama's special qualification was that he was an ordinary human being.
Ramova posebna lastnost pa je bila, da je bil navaden človek.
Ravana had a whole collection of benedictions, how he would not be killed by any type of being, but he forgot to ask for the benediction to not be killed by a human.
Ravana je imel celo zbirko blagoslovov, da ga ne bo ubilo nobeno živo bitje. Pozabil pa je prositi tudi za blagoslov, da ga ne bi ubil človek.
Alas, it was his end as Rama eventually met with Ravana and killed him valiantly in the chest with an arrow.
In žal je bil to Ravanov konec, ko se je srečal z Ramo in ga je Rama s puščico zadel v prsa.
Let us see.
Pa Poglejmo.
Let me go on with the next avatar, and that is Balarama, another Rama.
Pa nadaljujemo z naslednjim avatarjem, to je Balarama, še en Rama.
Balarama is the older brother of Krishna.
Balarama je Krišnov starejši brat.
And both Balarama and Krishna live in a place called Vrindavan.
In oba, Balarama in Krišna, živita v kraju, ki se imenuje Vrindavan.
They appear as cowherd boys and farmers.
Pojavita se kot pastirja in kmetovalca.
Imagine, if you will, a wonderful land, fruitful lands, wonderful forests, a beautiful river called Yamuna.
Če želite si predstavljate čudovito, zelo plodno zemljo, veliko sadnih dreves, čudovita reka Yamuna, čudovit gozd.
This is where Krishna and Balaram play as small children.
Tam se kot majhna otroka igrata Krišna in Balaram.
And as boys will do, sometimes they will play pranks.
In fantje včasih radi malo nagajajo.
One of the pranks of Balarama was to call the river Yamuna to him.
In eden od takšnih primerov je, kako je Balarama priklical v sebi reko Yamuno.
Yamuna is understood to be not only a river, but also a goddess.
Yamuna ni samo reka, ampak tudi boginja.
Now, Balaram happened to be at this moment a little bit, well, dare I say, intoxicated.
In takrat je bil Balarama, mi ga rečem, malo opit.
Malo opit. But how was he intoxicated? By drinking a certain kind of honey.
Ampak s čim je bil opit? S pitjem posebne vrste medu.
And in this state he said, Yamuna, come my way.
In v tem stanju je rekel, Yamuna, pridi malo sem.
And Yamuna said, no way.
Yamuna pa je rekla, nikakor.
Nikako. So Balaram got a little annoyed. He took his plow, he's often seen carrying a plow, and he made like a canal in the Yamuna to himself.
To je Balaramo malo vznemirilo in on pogosto ga vidimo, kako nosi plug in s tem plugom je iz Yamune do sebe privlekel kot nekakšen kanal.
And then Yamuna came before Balaram in this way. She was encouraged to come in this way, and then she offered her respects to Balaram as Vishnu, as the powerful Vishnu. Bala means powerful.
In tako je Yamuno spodbudil, da se je tudi prikazala pred njim, mu je pristopila in mu je izkazala spoštovanje kot mogočnemu Višnuju. Bala pomeni močan.
Let us see.
Da pogledamo.
Hara
There's a bit of an environmental lesson here as well, actually.
Tudi v tej zgodbi je malo okoljevarstvenega nauka.
The present day Yamuna River runs through the city of Delhi.
Dan danes reka Jamuna teče skozi mesto Delhi.
Eventually it joins the Ganges.
In se potem združi z reko Ganges.
But long before the meeting of these two rivers, the Yamuna has become, due to pollution from this ever-increasing city, it has been declared a dead river.
Ampak daleč preden se ti dve reki združita, pa je ta Jamuna, so to Jamuna zaradi vedno večjega onesnaženja v mestu Delhi razglasili za mrtvo reko.
It's a very sad thing to see. I recently was in Vrindavan and I saw the condition of this river. It's very heart-rending.
Nedavno sem bil v Vrindavani in res je žalostno videti, v kakšnem stanju se je znašla ta reka. Srce mi je strlo.
Something else we hear more about in terms of environmental preservation is the condition of water in our world.
In ko poslušamo o varovanju okolja, pogosto slišimo tudi o zaščiti voda v našem svetu.
From what I've read, of all of the water on this planet, only 3% is sweet water.
In slišal sem, da od vse vode na tem planetu je samo 3% sladke vode.
And that water we are very quickly destroying by our civilization.
In še to vodo svojo civilizacijo zelo hitro uničujemo.
The next avatar is one who is known by many, many peoples in different parts of the world. He's called Buddha.
Naslednji avatar je tisti, ki je po vsem svetu zelo dobro poznan, imenuje se Buddha.
We have an entire tradition, practice, actually so many traditions of Buddhism.
Imamo celotno tradicijo, pravzaprav veliko tradicij budizma.
And many Buddhists will say, Buddha is not an avatar of Vishnu, I'm sorry.
Ampak budisti sami bodo rekli, oprostite, ampak Buddha ni Višnujev avatar.
Well, that's an issue of discussion that goes on in India.
No, o tem se že vrsto let predikajo v Indiji.
The story of Buddha's life is very famous. It's perhaps one of the most famous biographies in the world.
Zgodba o Buddhovem življenju je zelo slavna, verjetno ena od najslavnejših biografij na svetu.
He was a prince in what's today northern India, Nepal, along the border.
Bil je princ v Nepalu, danes severna Indija ob meji.
He was living a sheltered life until he began to question his life.
In živel je zelo zaščiteno življenje, dokler se ni začel spraševati o življenju.
And so he left all of the comforts of his palace and he went to the forest.
In tako je zapustil udobje svoje palače in se odpravil v gost.
In the forest he spent 6 years observing extreme austerities, fasting.
V gozdu je v veliki askezi preživel 6 let, postil.
After 6 years he gave that up. He said, I'm not getting anywhere.
Po 6 letih pa je to opustil. Je rekel, nima smisla, nikamor nisem prišel s tem.
He went to a place now called Bodh Gaya. He sat down under a tree. He spent the entire night. In the morning he became the Buddha, the enlightened one.
In potem je prišel do kraja, ki ga danes imenujejo Bodh Gaya, je sedel pod drevo, celo noč preživel tam in je postal to, kakor ga danes imenujemo Buddha ali razsvetljeni.
Or I should say, in the course of the night and in the course of all of his search, he had become the awakened one. Buddha means one who is awakened.
Pravzaprav bi moral reči, v teku noči in v teku tega svojega iskanja je postal prebujeni. Buddha pomeni prebujeni.
And then he proceeded to tell his realization, his understanding of what is actually life about to people whom he met.
In potem je ljudem, ki jih je srečal, razlagal o svojem razumevanju sveta.
And he challenged the Brahmins who were doing these rituals, sacrifices, in which they were killing animals as a ritual supposedly justified by this ancient literature, the Veda.
In je izzval Brahmane, ki so v teh svojih ritualih pobijali živali, v teh ritualih, ki so opisani v spisih, vedah.
He convinced them that if it says in the Veda that you should kill these animals, then I say reject the Veda.
In prepričal jih je, da če v vedah rečeno, da je potrebno ubijati živali v teh ritualih, potem jaz zavračam vede.
Let us have a look.
Pa pogledamo.
As they're called, the expressions with the hands are so expressive, aren't they?
Te mudre prikazi z rokami, kot se imenujejo, so tako ekspresivne, kaj ne?
Of course, one has to be schooled in exactly what each one means. Each of these gestures has very precise meanings.
Če človek ve, ima vsak od teh prikazov, teh gibov rok svoj pomen.
What's our lesson from this avatar for us today?
Kakšen je nauk za nas od tega avatarja?
I would suggest that it's about thinking twice about our eating habits.
Predlagal bi, da je nauk ta, da dvakrat premislimo o svojih prehranjevalnih navadah.
The Buddha had told these so-called Brahmins to stop this killing of animals, this unnecessary killing.
Buddha je tem tako zvanim brahmanam dejal, da naj prenehajo ubijati živali, da je to nepotrebno.
And if we have no other concern than the environmental protection of our planet, then it is a very good idea to rethink our practices with regard to diet.
In če že nič drugega, če želimo ohraniti svoje okolje, potem je dobro še enkrat premisliti o tem, s čim se prehranjujemo.
Because it turns out, as has been recognized by many agencies, United Nations and so on, this cattle industry is actually the greatest polluter of our planet today.
Kajti izkazalo se je v mnogih raziskavah, tudi Združeni narodi so potrdili, da je živinorejska industrija eden od največjih onesnaževalcev okolja.
So the Buddha, as we saw in this presentation, he says, stop this and practice meditation.
In Buddha, kot smo ga videli danes v prikazu, je dejal, prenehajte s tem in prakticirajte meditacijo.
Well, nowadays we're all so busy, isn't it?
Tudi danes smo zelo zaposleni, kaj ne?
Who has time for meditation?
Kdo ima čas za meditacijo?
Meditation, that's a luxury.
Meditacija je že luksus.
This ancient literature that tells this tradition of the avatars, Veda and later literature, it says that we live in a very unfortunate age.
Ta starodavna literatura, v kateri so opisani avatarji, Vede in druga literatura, pravi, da živimo v zelo nesrečni dobi.
It's a time when all of us are affected such that we tend to be quarrelsome.
In to je čas, vse nas vplivajo stvari na tak način, da se zelo radi prerekamo.
And we tend to be lazy.
Nagnjeni smo k temu, da smo leni.
Maybe not in Slovenia.
Da ne v Sloveniji.
Californians can be very lazy.
Kalifornijci so lahko zelo leni.
We tend to be misguided. We follow anyone and everyone we think are going to help us when they're actually misguiding.
In nagnjeni smo tudi k temu, da nas drugi zavedajo, slepo sledimo vsakomur.
And in general, we tend to be rather disturbed. Our awareness, our minds tend to be very easily distracted.
In nasplošno smo precej vznemirjeni, naša pozornost, naše misli zlahka odplavajo.
According to this account of these traditions, the next avatar is going to come at the end of this present age. It's called the Kali age, the age of quarrel and disturbance.
In na povedah, na koncu te dobe, v kateri živimo dan danes, to je doba, opisana kot doba prepirov in vznemirjenja, bo naslednji avatar prišel na koncu te dobe.
And this final avatar, named Kalki, what is he going to do? He's simply going to kill.
In kaj bo storil ta avatar po imenu Kalki? Na koncu te dobe Kali bo samo ubil.
Now you may say that's not very nice.
Lahko pravi, si mislite, to pa ni ravno najlepše.
But it's understood that when Vishnu kills, he's also liberating.
Ampak razume se, da ko Višnu ubija, on tudi osvobaja.
Let's have a look.
In pogledamo to.
This was not just the final avatar Kalki, but also the performance of the concluding verse of Jayadeva Goswami.
To ni bil samo prikaz zadnjega avatarja Kalkija, ampak tudi ta zadnji vers o Jayadevovi pesmi.
In which he says, this is the song of Dasha Vidha Rupa, of 10 forms of Vishnu.
V kateri pravi, da je to pesem o Dasha Vidha Rupa, o 10 podobah Višnuja.
And you've heard the refrain, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, several times.
In večkrat ste slišali refren Jaya Jagadisha Hare.
Jaya means victory,
Jaya pomeni zmaga.
and Jagadisha means Lord or Master of the Jagat, of the universe.
In Jagadisha pomeni gospod ali gospodar Jagata, vesolja.
And Hari is another name for Vishnu. It means one who removes.
Hari pa je še eno Višnujevo ime, tisti, ki vzame.
He who removes obstacles on the path of human perfection.
Tisti, ki vzame ali odstrani ovire na poti do človekove popolnosti.
So Jayadeva in his poem is inviting all of us to participate on a higher plane of existence beyond this temporal world.
Jayadeva na koncu te svoje pesmi vse nas povabi, naj zaživimo v svetu iznad tega začasnega sveta.
And to experience our yogic identity.
In da izkusimo svojo jogijsko identiteto.
This is an identity which is beyond the temporary identities that we all carry with us through our lives.
To je identiteta, ki je iznad naših začasnih identitet, ki jih nosimo skozi življenje.
In Greek they have the word persona. Greek.
V grščini imajo besedo persona.
Persona originally meant mask.
Persona je izvorno pomenilo maska.
And in the ancient Greek dramas, the players would take on a different mask, a different persona.
In v starodavnih grških dramah so si igralci nadeli različne maske, različne persone.
And similarly, so is the teaching of Jayadeva and the tradition. We are all taking on different persona in this life, not only this life, but other lives beyond this.
In podobno tudi v tradiciji, ki jo opisuje Jayadeva, si vsi mi nadevamo različne persone, ne samo v tem življenju, ampak tudi v drugih življenjih.
But who are we?
Ampak to smo mi.
This is the question that we can ask as human beings.
To je vprašanje, ki si ga lahko postavimo kot človeška bitja,
for which religious traditions of the world have so many answers.
In na to imajo religiozne tradicije po vsem svetu odgovore, veliko odgovorov.
And they urge us to find those answers not in a theoretical way, but in an actual way of realization.
In nas spodbujajo, da te odgovore poiščemo, ne samo na teoretičen način, ampak tudi s poznanjem.
It's an existentially urgent proposition.
To je eksistenčno nujen predlog.
Of course, it's also entertaining. We have had an evening of entertainment about these avatars.
Seveda je tudi zabavno. Nocoj smo imeli zabavo o avatarjih.
And indeed, I'll give you another little Sanskrit lesson. There's a very interesting word in Sanskrit, lila.
Potem bom še eno lekcijo iz Sanskrita. V Sanskritu je zanimiva beseda lila.
Lila means something like, in English we say pastime.
Lila je nekaj, čemu bi rekli zabava.
Or sport.
Ali igranje.
But not like football.
Ampak ne tako nogomet.
No, sport in the sense of doing something just for the fun of it, with no purpose beyond that.
Igranje v pomenu, da nekaj počnemo samo zato, ker je to zabavno, brez posebnega pomena.
So all the stories, the narratives of these avatars, it's understood to be lila, something which goes on in a way which can draw us to perfection of our lives.
Torej pojasneno je, da so vse te zgodbe o avatarjih lile, nekaj, kar nas privleče in nam pomaga, da dosežemo popolnost v življenju.
And at the same time, have fun doing it.
Obenem pa se zabavamo, ko to počnemo.
So I want to thank you all very much for your attention, your patience, your participation.
Sem bi se rad zahvalil za vašo potrpežljivost, za pozornost, za sodelovanje.
I think at this point we're coming to the end. After all, we've been through 10 avatars.
Mislim, da se sedaj približujemo koncu. Ne nazadnje smo se prebili čez 10 avatarjev.
Some of this Vedic literature describes that there are many, many more, but the night's getting late, so we'll stop there.
Vedska literatura opisuje, da jih je še veliko, veliko več, ampak postaja že pozno in zaključimo.
And again, I'm sorry for not speaking Slovenian, but I think we managed very well with a wonderful translation.
Še enkrat mi je žal, ker ne govorim slovensko.
I don't think you translated it.